Ogun State Government, in a decisive move against child abuse, has apprehended Ashafa Afelaja, the headmaster of a private school in Eyin Ogbe, Igode, near Ogijo, following allegations of sodomizing a female pupil. The swift arrest was prompted by concerned citizens who reported the disturbing incident to state authorities. Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Adijat Adeleye, confirmed the arrest in a statement emphasizing the government's unwavering commitment to safeguarding children. Our rescue team immediately intervened in Adamo, Ikorodu, a border community, following distressing report of a school headmaster physically assaulting a young female pupil. The perpetrator is now in police custody, and we are diligently providing the rescued child and her mother with the necessary support and attention, Adeleye stated. The government has assured the public that the victim is receiving comprehensive medical care and psychological support. The Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development has pledged to vigorously pursue justice for all survivors of abuse, working in close collaboration with law enforcement agencies to ensure swift and decisive action against perpetrators. We employ members of the public to remain vigilant and promptly report any instance of child abuse, domestic violence, and other forms of inhuman maltreatment. Adeleye urged, she reiterated the Prince Dapo Abiodun-led administration's unwavering stance against gender-based violence, child abuse, and all forms of domestic abuse, reinforcing the state's resolute commitment to protecting its vulnerable citizens. We've had several cases of abuse, in recent times. And what are your thoughts as regards the stance of Ogun State government on, such matters?
These cases of abuse don't seem to be in a hurry to go away.
Doesn't seem to be in a hurry.
Yeah, we keep having a repetition of it in diverse form. This is a case of sodomy. Now, from a headmaster of a school, I don't think anybody in his right thinking can fault the government so far in what they have done in picking up the headmaster and assuring the citizens, Nigerians, and people of Ogun State that justice would be done. Even mentioning the name Ogijo is a place I'm relatively familiar with. These things drive home how close these things are to us. They are not far-fetched,
right?
But it leaves one wondering. For a headmaster, without doubt, I can confidently say he's an adult. And headmaster is nomenclature used for the head of a primary school. What would be the age of this child? What interests an adult in a child? It tells how sick some people can be up in their mind. Or could it be a case of, as we have seen in Nigeria, a case of rituals? Whoever keeps telling these people that some of these things add wealth to them.
Now, you rightly mentioned that the cases are becoming increasingly high. Why do you think that is?
It's part of the increasing moral decadence in society. Our society is in need to be revamped morally, not just the economic which will happen every time. There's a need for a moral rejiggling in our society. There is a need for, to think that this guy is a headmaster. He probably, for him to have become a headmaster, even though it's a private school that have a little bit different system of recruitment and promotion. But I would want to believe that having been a headmaster, he may have been in the school system for quite some years, no matter how few those years is. And all these years, you have had children under him.
Right.
Who knows how many victims he has left in his trail as he climbed the career ladder, as it were. It raises the question of the kind of people we entrust our system to. See, there is no doubting the fact that children must go to school.
Right.
There is no doubting the fact that people must be in one form of relationship or the other with different kind of people. But what should also not be in doubt is what criteria help us in determining who we entrust to be in charge of this relationship with student-teachers relationship, workers-boss relationship. Can we devise a means of ensuring that those we recruit, especially to handle minors, to be in charge of minors, are people of integrity, are not people of questionable character?
What about the people, if you assume that they're of, they don't have questionable character, but they are living in a pretense? How is that ascertained?
Yeah, that also leaves us to how do we unravel that? Because somebody pretending, maybe there's also a way to unravel it.
Because, the thing with pedophiles is they are usually patiently waiting for the right time to strike. They're usually not in a hurry, right? They have different mechanisms with which they use in grooming the children till the eventual blow. For the ones that are even, patient enough not to actually hands down rape somebody. Most of them they lead with fear, they lead with manipulation. Now, it makes it quite difficult, for someone to say this is the reason this person was not taken. What are the checks and balances as to knowing if this person is not pretending? What yardstick should be used to adjudge a person's behavior before they are put in a place of so much authority as regards being in charge of principal and controlling
this
minds?
Also calls for vigilance. I just say internal vigilance by everybody. I am sitting with you here. You should be vigilant about me. And this is not a case of being schizophrenic or, unduly distrusting people, or maybe trying to stereotype a particular gender or a particular set of people. No, you see, that you're vigilant shouldn't be about maybe you trust me or you don't trust me. It's just a state of mind we should have. Now, why I said vigilance is this: if you are a little bit more vigilant than we are, maybe we can notice an unusual pattern in a person's behavior.
Right.
Yeah, maybe we can notice an unhealthy discussion that usually comes from a particular person. Certain things could give people away. For example, even things like films they watch. What kind of films do they watch? What kind of things excite them? What is their response when certain topics come up for discussion?
Right.
These are things that, if we are vigilant, it may help expose some of these hidden attitude, as it were.
Very well. Now, given that many people are not even aware of these traits to look at before you can judge somebody that, okay, I feel like this person might be, this sort of person might be a pedophile or an abuser or whatever. Now, when we look at that, because the traits are not known to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
What do you think organizations like NOA, the National Orientation Agency, should do to make this a widespread discussion, maybe in schools, to parents, to teachers? Because then these little children spend most of this time in school, 5 days a week, right? And if people are not informed, are not well abreast with how to identify these traits when they see it, in a predator, and even in places of power, because most of the time when cases of abuse is reported, it is usually not far-fetched from a place of trust. Now, when I say from a place of trust, I'm talking about from either the family, the school,
somebody you would ordinarily think
the church, or the religious background or whatever. Is usually structured around. It usually comes mostly from those areas before you move it to external people. Now, how do you think these organizations, for like the NOA, like I rightly mentioned, can help spread awareness to the tone that teachers, parents, and just even everybody is well aware with how to adjudge a person, given that the trait of an abuser usually precedes them? It's easy for you to say it, but if you don't know it, you cannot find it. So what patterns do you think the NOA and other organizations should use?
Beyond the NOA, like you said, other organizations, maybe even civil societies,
right.
I think there should be a constant education to people, adults and children, of certain behaviors that should be noted in people. Maybe even, sex education should be driven in such a way, not just to make you conscious of your sexuality and other, but also to make you know when there is a threat or a non-consensual behavior, especially from for minors, then specifically for teachers and all those that work around children. You know, it is not enough to have that consciousness that, oh, I can't do this. What are other people around you doing? I think, like you rightly say, maybe not just the NOA, now maybe the ministries of education can also take it upon themselves to make teachers, you know, have, for the good of society. Now, this is not to create a situation where people are unduly, you know, monitored or reported, but, you know, just let it be known that, okay, this is a behavior you should notice in your colleague as regards his relationship to either the student or other staff that become a red flag that calls for caution. If such things happen, maybe it may not even be the place of the child to note, because depending on how old the child is, but the adults around them can note that. I mean, a case of adults checking adult, I can note that, oh, this behavior towards this child or these children is a red flag. Or even if it is not exactly towards the children ab initio, but I notice that, oh, this trait this person has, if left unchecked, may likely lead to this, and this is not what we want in our system. So when you notice those red flags, it's time to alert the authorities, and then maybe more monitoring can be done to forestall situations like this.
Thank you so much for